To the gridiron, Dak Prescott ready to make a splash in 2022. He's telling reporters he's the healthiest he's been in a long time, and also said he's confident in his locker room because they're ready to prove people wrong. Shannon, do you like what Dak said, or do you have a problem with it?
I don't care what Dak says. Dak takes the cue from his owner. All they do is yap. All they do is run their mouths about every year, and they convince their fan base this is going to be our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And they've been saying this for 26 years, and they have not come close to winning the Super Bowl. So I don't care what Dak says. Now, all of a sudden, the locker room was the issue. They cleaned up their locker room and everything. Ooh, we're going to make y'all eat them words. Stop. Just go play. Show me. I want you to show me that I'm going to eat my words. Don't tell me about it. Show me.
So, to your point, every single year I've had to live with Dak Prescott saying, I cannot wait to prove everybody wrong. And he is now going into, believe it or not, year 7 as the starting quarterback for my Dallas Cowboys. Year 7, and he has won a grand total of 1 playoff game in 7 seasons. Or 6 seasons, obviously, going into 7. The problem is that in the big picture, if you really look hard at my football team, it got a little worse through the offseason.
They did.
And the Eagles got a lot better through the offseason. The Eagles are a serious threat to my Dallas Cowboys. But Dak keeps saying, I'm going to prove them wrong. How? With what?
What is wrong? I mean, you just think, okay, win the division. No, the Cowboys, Jerry and Steven keep telling us every year, this team is as talented as those Super Bowl teams. I have that level of expectations, and those expectations aren't met. But all they do is talk, and Dak has gotten on the train of talking.
And I won't back down.
The Cowboys may have traded away Amari Cooper, but Jerry Jones believes there will be an upgrade nonetheless at that top receiver spot next season. Jones telling the Star-Telegram, CeeDee Lamb will indeed be an improvement over Amari in the Cowboys offense as the top target. Shannon, all right, weigh in here. Do you have a problem with Jerry saying this?
I do, because I felt it was unnecessary. I feel that he was taking shots at Amari Cooper when he really didn't need to. CeeDee Lamb need to be an upgrade over CeeDee Lamb. He needs to stop dropping too many balls. He needs to start showing up more in big games. That's what needs to happen. So, Skip, look here. We know what this comes down to. We know what this is about. For the very first time, there was a player on Jerry Jones' roster that openly and defiantly said, I'm not doing what the hell you tell me to do. You remember when Jerry Jones, when this was Colin Kaepernick, the same protest was going on, Jerry Jones said Dallas Cowboys players will stand at attention. They will have their hands over their hearts. They will have their helmets under their arms. Amari Cooper said, I ain't getting no damn shot. And he missed 2 games, and Jerry never forgave him for it.
And he broke the protocol by going to a Mavericks game.
Going to a Maverick game, sitting front row with no mask on.
Thank you.
He did that openly and publicly.
And got fined for that.
And got fined. And Jerry's looking at, how dare you? Because, Skip, no player has ever told Jerry Jones no. Amari Cooper said, not only said no, he said, hell no, I'm not getting it. And Jerry Jones is not in the huddle. Jerry Jones is repeating what coaches have told him. Now, all of a sudden, Amari Cooper was a problem. Skip, we hear Amari Cooper being a problem for 4 years. Now he leaves, Amari Cooper was the problem. And CeeDee Lamb is going to be better both on the field and off the field.
That's what he
Skip
said.
Bayless, you cover this Dallas Cowboy team. This is your team. You know them. When in the hell has Jerry Jones gave a you-know-what about character off the field? Name it. Jerry Jones would not have 3 titles in the 90s if he gave a damn about what happened off the field. Now, all of a sudden, he cares about what off the field. Amari Cooper ain't no problem off no field. Production off the field? What production? Now you care about philanthropic work? Skip, Jerry Jones says, you know what? We thought CeeDee Lamb was ready to take this next step, and we needed to make the process as seamless as we possibly could, knowing that Amari Cooper views himself as a number 1 receiver, the money that we was paying him. If you want to say, you know, the money that we was paying, we didn't feel we was getting the production that we needed from that position. We took CeeDee Lamb in the first round for a reason, because we thought it would be a nice transition. After a couple of years, CeeDee Lamb would be ready to be the number 1 receiver. No problem, Skip. But for you to come out and say what you're saying, to make it seem like Amari Cooper was a problem in the locker room. So now, Skip, I'm going like, well, hold on, what's going on? Is Amari? Skip, he's quiet. He doesn't say anything. You look at him, he's not Michael Irvin, where you see the passion in which he wants to play the game on his sleeve. He doesn't have the passion on his sleeve like a Dez. And maybe that's what rubbed Jerry the wrong way. Like, bro, I'm playing you all this money. I need to see, I need to know, I need to feel that you want it. But Skip, I felt this was an unnecessary shot that Jerry took at this kid because quiet, he doesn't say a whole lot, but now it got me thinking, what's really going on in the huddle between him and Dak? What's going on outside? What's going on in the locker room? Because Jerry's speaking like that there was a problem in the locker room, in the huddle with CeeDee Lamb and somebody. And normally when there's a problem, it's normally with the receiver and the quarterback. Two receivers ain't having no pride, ain't butting no heads. So now, Skip, I'm questioning. I'm looking like, well, damn. That might be why CeeDee ain't getting no passes on the road. Maybe that's why CeeDee didn't get a catch in this situation. Causes me to ask more questions than what I really should. Never heard an issue, Skip. Not one. You mean to tell somebody would have heard something that Amari Cooper is a problem or was the problem? We never heard anything until Jerry opened his mouth. This was unnecessary, Skip.
Okay. To me, I am reading this upside down from the way you are, because to me, he was trying to lift up CD as opposed to tear down Amari. He's just saying he's going to be an overall upgrade, to use Jerry's language, in production, in the huddle, off the field. He's talking about passion. He's talking about leadership. He's talking about charisma, because Amari had no charisma because he's introverted. He kept to himself. His body language and his presence were small in the huddle, on the sideline, and then he did dare to defy Jerry and the whole team, and he was one of only 2 players who refused to get vaccinated. Then he pulled off the stunt by going to the Maverick game.
Correct.
Got fined for that, and I think that was the end of the line for Jerry. He said, okay, I'm out. I told you I was out in 2019, down the stretch of 2019, when again and again and again and again on the road, Amari Cooper, for whatever reason, just shrank and disappeared. He started at the Jets. It's your all-time favorite game.
Yep.
The Jets roared back and won 24-22 at Jets. And Amari caught one quick ball for 3 yards. And then I don't know what happened. He was just gone for the rest of the game. But then he bounced right back the next home game, and he was sensational.
Right.
And then we start going on the road. We go to New England, and it's cold, and he winds up quitting on the team. He pulled his big long coat on and stood on the sidelines because he quit, because Stephon Gilmore made him quit.
Okay.
And Jerry, you're gonna turn right around in a year and pay this guy $20 million. He did.
You just told me now you fell out with him in 2019. So if you fell out with him in 2019 because he didn't give you the production on the road, what the hell was Jared looking at to turn around and give him $20 million?
Last classic game was at Philadelphia. Last game of the year 2019 for all the division marbles. It's on the table. And what happened? Jason Garrett, may he rest in peace as the Dallas coach, he got so upset with Amari's half-hearted route running, because he's a great route runner, but he's running half-hearted routes at Philadelphia in the cold. He yanked him on performance.
Yes.
He just yanked him out of the game. And down the stretch, that final possession,
Tavon Austin.
He's Tavon Austin. He's throwing it to Tavon Austin.
Overthrew him.
Unfortunately, overthrew Tavon Austin. I don't know what possessed him, but they had a chance. It was 17-9. So they would have to score a touchdown and go for 2 to tie.
Right.
Force overtime. But there's no Amari on the field. And then it's on Jerry Jones that he turned around a year later and said, I'll give you $20 million. I'll give you 5 years at $100 million to keep you away from rival Washington.
Right.
That's what was reported. All the signs pointed to Washington was hot to trot on Amari Cooper as a free agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he did it. That's on Jerry. But then he suffered through 1 year of $20 million, and he said, I've seen enough.
No, Amari got that contract. He played 2 years.
Played 2 years.
2 years on that contract.
But I'm saying the vaccination year, that was the end of the line.
Yeah. But Skip, let me ask you, do you believe Dak Prescott gets the money without Amari Cooper? Look what Amari Cooper did for Dak Prescott.
It was early on. It was in 2019 when he arrived. They had one bad game against Tennessee on Monday Night Football. It was a disaster. They fell to 3-5. And the next week they went to Philadelphia, and Amari and Dak started to click at Philadelphia, and they pulled off a big upset. And then, remember, they beat Philadelphia at home.
Yeah, in overtime.
And I forget what the yardage was, but
he had over 200.
He went 220-ish.
Yeah, he went 200. I think he had like 3 touchdowns. He had a monster day.
He had a monster day. So I will give you that he put Dak on the national map down the stretch of 2019 when Dak was